Do you know Chanakya? If not, then listen. Education is the best friend. An educated person is respected everywhere. Education beats the beauty and the youth. Before you start some work, always ask yourself 3 questions. Why am I doing it? What the results might be, and will I be successful? Only when you think deeply and find satisfactory answers to these questions, go ahead. The fragrance of flowers spreads only in the direction of the wind. But the goodness of a person spreads in all directions. A man is great by deeds, not by birth. Even if a snake is not poisonous, it should pretend to be venomous. Books are as useful to a stupid person as a mirror is useful to a blind person. Never make friends with people who are above or below you in status. Such friendships will never give you any happiness. Purity of speech, of the mind, of the senses, and of a compassionate heart are needed by one who desires to rise to the divine platform. It is better to die than to preserve this life by incurring disgrace. The loss of life causes but a moment's grief, but disgrace brings grief every day of one's life. As soon as the fear approaches near, attack and destroy it. There is no austerity equal to a balanced mind, and there is no happiness equal to contentment. There is no disease like covetousness, and no virtue like mercy. The one excellent thing that can be learned from a lion is that whatever a man intends doing should be done by him with a wholehearted and strenuous effort. The earth is supported by the power of truth. It is the power of truth that makes the sun shine and the winds blow. Indeed, all things rest upon truth. He who lives in our mind is near, though he may actually be far away. But he who is not in our heart is far, though he may really be nearby. Test a servant while in the discharge of his duty, a relative in difficulty, a friend in adversity, and a wife in misfortune. God doesn't dwell in the wooden, stony, or earthen idols. His abode is in our feelings, our thoughts. The happiness and peace attained by those satisfied by the nectar of spiritual tranquility is not attained by greedy persons restlessly moving here and there. A good wife is one who serves her husband in the morning like a mother does, loves him in the day like a sister does, and pleases him like a prostitute in the night. Chanakya. There is some self-interest behind every friendship. There is no friendship without self-interests. This is a bitter truth. A person should not be too honest. Straight trees are cut first, and honest people are screwed first. A man is born alone and dies alone, and he experiences the good and bad consequences of his karma alone, and he goes alone to hell or the supreme abode. Treat your kid like a darling for the first 5 years. For the next 5 years, scold them. By the time they turn 16, treat them like a friend. Your grown-up children are your best friends. The biggest guru mantra is, never share your secrets with anybody. It will destroy you. The world's biggest power is the youth and beauty of a woman. One whose knowledge is confined to books and whose wealth is in the possession of others, can use neither his knowledge nor wealth when the need for them arises. Once you start working on something, don't be afraid of failure and don't abandon it. People who work sincerely are the happiest. Do not be very upright in your dealings, for you would see by going to the forest that straight trees are cut down while crooked ones are left standing. We should not fret for what is past, nor should we be anxious about the future. Men of discernment deal only with the present moment. The serpent, the king, the tiger, the stinging wasp, the small child, the dog owned by other people, and the fool, these seven ought not to be awakened from sleep. He who is overly attached to his family members experiences fear and sorrow, for the root of all grief is attachment. Thus one should discard attachment to be happy. The life of an uneducated man is as useless as the tail of a dog which neither covers its rear end, nor protects it from the bites of insects. As long as your body is healthy and under control and death is distant, try to save your soul. When death is imminent, what can you do? Do not reveal what you have thought upon doing, but by wise counsel keep it secret, being determined to carry it into execution. If one has a good disposition, what other virtue is needed? If a man has fame, what is the value of other ornamentation? The wise man should restrain his senses like the crane and accomplish his purpose with due knowledge of his place, time, and ability. As a single withered tree, if set aflame, causes a whole forest to burn, so does a rascal son destroy a whole family. O wise man! Give your wealth only to the worthy and never to others. The water of the sea received by the clouds is always sweet.